being an American citizen, and you kind of have those fears, like, is he just marrying me because he wants to be a citizen here? Those types of things. People always ask me that question, which is kind of, I think, kind of funny. It's like, if he really wanted that so badly, he probably would have gotten married years ago, because he's been here for a while. He was almost through the process being under his mom, but once you get married, I guess it automatically switches. It wasn't actually something that either of us was aware of at the time, so the process, it's not that it starts again, but it's just, like I said, we have to go for an interview just to make sure that, again, I guess our marriage is legitimate and not trying to just get married so he can get a citizenship or something like that. I was late for the meeting, and Alex was freaking out and just thought we would miss it, because if you miss the meeting, it can take weeks or months to reschedule it, and then they also may think that you're really not serious about the process. When I actually got to the building that the meeting was at, it was a little tense, a little bit of tension between us, and I was like, we have to get along, they have to believe, that we're a happy couple. And he was like, well, all couples have issues anyway, but it was just one of the only times in my life that I needed to really, really, really be on time, that of course I didn't. Him being from another country, there are just different cultural things, I think, in terms of how his family sees what a relationship should be versus kind of the way that I kind of see a relationship being, meaning that I think from his mom's point of view, maybe I kept my last name and I took on his last name as well. I didn't just drop my last name, and that was something that was a little bit hard for her to take. Alex didn't really care one way or the other, but just kind of that idea that if you're getting married to someone, you are embracing their family and kind of letting go of yours a little bit. And that concept is in the United States as well, but I think just to a lesser extent these days. And so just little things like that can sometimes be difficult, I think, to kind of understand when you're with someone that's just from a different culture, a different country than you are. Like I said too, I haven't been to Kenya yet. We're planning on going in 2012 for one of his family reunions, but it's hard again because he's met all of my family, but there are still lots of family members of his that I haven't met. There were some that were able to come to the United States for our wedding, which was a whole, it was actually hard to kind of get them visas to be able to do that. It's just a process where, first of all, we had to send them the invitation so that they could take it to the government in Kenya to try to apply for a visa, but it's a long process. So we had to sent them save the date cards like a year in advance, and then we sent them the invitations, but they never got the invitations in the mail. So that was another huge problem. They didn't have any documents to say, we're going for a wedding, it's on this date, we'll be back, just to show proof that you're not coming here to try to stay here. So we had to create something and send it via email. It was kind of like this mad scramble to see if they could get to, I guess, the American embassy to be able to just even interview and apply and get the whole process going. So it was actually really stressful. It was, for a good long time, we didn't think that any of his aunts would be able to come, but they were all able to kind of do it somehow or another. His dad had gotten the paperwork done. Alex made sure of that way earlier, but again, it's just something that I never thought of. It's like, if you want to go to a wedding, you just take your passport and you go wherever you want to go. But it's not like that for people that are coming to the United States. It's just, the American passport is such a valuable thing to have when you want to travel. And for people who don't have that status, it's really interesting the things that they have to go through to just be able to come here for a week or two to visit. For Alex, he's been here for many, many years. He's gotten a college degree, he's getting his master's degree, he's worked in the school system as a teacher for many years, and so he's really been, in my eyes, a public servant and someone who's really done a lot for the country, and yet it takes so long to be able to become a citizen when there are just people who, like I said, kind of take it for granted, and it can make life a little bit harder, like I said, in terms of travel and things like that. It's not to say that he can't travel, but like I said, when you have a U.S. passport, like no one, you just kind of go through when you want to go to another country. But you just, when you have a Kenyan passport, it's just people kind of scrutinize it a little bit more, and sometimes don't want. You just have to get like certain special permissions that you wouldn't always have to do otherwise. So.